Welcome back, and in our ongoing mission to get the doors done, here you see Chris and Roberto working on the second half of the left side door frame. So just laying down the first round of layers on that one. And here's Devin actually putting the rubber profile on the plug for the intake air scoop. So just basically using a super glue to put that in place. So that one will be ready to lay up the mold soon. And our spray putty machine was out of action for a day when these parts broke, and so we had to order them overnight, rush from California. So these three little parts here cost us over $300 to replace, and that's, you know, the big one there is the size of a pen. So anyway, a bit of a rip-off, but what can you do? So we got that sorted out, and the machine was back and running the next day. And here's the plug for the header tank, and also the one for the lower lip of the intake scoop. Those are both waiting for putty there, and there's the one for the actual closeout lid for the header tank. So they were sitting there for a day while we were getting the putty machine working again. And Roberto and Chris got the first part of this one done, so that's one more step towards having the doors ready to lay up the actual frames, because everything else, all the other parts, all the other molds are ready now. And with some putty on it now, this is the one for the header tank, and so just really simple, as you can see, just three surfaces there joined together on an angle, so it doesn't get any easier than this one to mill. And so this is the next day, Thursday, and here Zach is working on laying up the heavy layers on top of the that part there, or the mold there, that Chris and Roberto had done the previous afternoon. So they're almost finished on that one. And we had to get some fireproof cabinets here to store all our resin in, so those arrived the other day, and got those set up on the side of the building there. So we'll be putting all our resin in there shortly, and this will save us the hassle of having to store resin outside in our shipping container where it currently is, most of it. You see the pretty nice cabinets. And here's the one for the intake scoop. So earlier on, Devin and Zach laid up the black top coat on there, and then Chris and Roberto, when they came in, they started working on laying up the fabric over that one. So here you see they're just putting some resin and Cabacil down there to smooth out that rubber channel. And back to the machine, here's the plug for the header tank being run there. Actually using the ball mill here to run a swarf cut on the side of it all the way around, so that gives us a nice sort of smooth side there. And then after that I actually ran the ball mill to sort of round off all the edges. And here's the finished product of the actual lid one. As you can see, pretty simple, just nice and flat, but anyway, came out really nicely. It won't take more than 10 minutes to sand that one just to get it ready. And this is the right side door frame now, so that's actually been completed there. So that's with the heavy layup that's been put down on that one. And so the next thing for that one is to have the bushings put in there with the flange that joins the upper and lower. And likewise, here's the one for the left side door, so that one's been finished as well with the layup, and just needs bushings and get trimmed and released, and braces for that one, and it's all done, ready to lay up. And this is Zach progressing a little further on this plug for the baffles for the strake tanks. So quite a lot of sanding on that one because of all the different sort of edges and stuff. So, but anyway, he's making his way through it. And here's the lower dash plug. So now this one is completely ready to be laid up. Got the rubber profile put in there, so it won't be long, and next week I guess that one will get laid up. Here's the intake scoop one with the first round of layers put on there, and obviously peel ply in there so that can be removed, and the heavy layers put down. That was the one that you saw Chris and Roberto working on earlier, and that same evening they also did this one, which is the left side cowling for the engine. So that one's had its first set of layers down and waiting for the heavy to be put on. And lastly, Mark and Kyle sent over some pictures here of the fixture that Kyle had water jetted, and you see they got it put together. So this is the one for putting the engine mount together, and you can see there's a couple of tubes already of the engine mount sort of put on there on the faceplate. That's the part that mates up to the firewall. But unfortunately, the shop that was doing the laser cutting for us, which was a local shop, really messed up about half of the tubes for us. They were all the wrong lengths. They were cut the right way in the ends, or mostly, with all the fish mouth, but they were just completely wrong in terms of the lengths. And I don't know how they managed to do that, because they're using a computer to do it, and they just really royally messed it up. Anyway, so we won't be using them to finish off that. So Kyle is putting together a list of all the ones that need to be recut and sending them over to the shop in California. So it's going to be about 2 weeks before those come back, but then they'll be able to get that together fairly quickly. So anyway, that's our update for this week. Thanks again for watching.